Welcome, everyone, to Minneapolis, where the Timberwolves continue to exercise their playoff demons of the past 20 years. And inside Target Center, this cacophony that you're about to hear is the result of a conquest only halfway complete. The Minnesota Timberwolves up 2-0 against the reigning champs, and the reigning finals MVP had to endure the shock of hearing MVP chants for that man right there, Anthony Edwards, in his own gym back on Monday night in Game 2. It's the NBA playoffs presented by Google Pixel. Welcome, everyone, to Minneapolis for the Western Conference semifinals delivered by Chipotle. As we take a look at some of the inventory in the playoffs so far, before Oklahoma City's loss, only them and Minnesota had been the only undefeated teams in the playoff. Minnesota is the lone Rakitin. They've got the Defensive Player of the Year and Anthony Edwards, a stout defender as well.
They were the number one ranked defensive team in the league, Jonesy, but they have saved their best for the last two games. They have completely shut down Denver offensively, and it's all about pressure and taking away space. Space for ball handlers, space for drivers, space for shooters. Let's see if Denver now has a response.
Michael Malone said, let's take a look at tonight's starting lineup brought to you by Modelo. For the visitors, Murray, Pope, Porter, Gordon, Jokic, Conley, Edwards, McDaniels, Karl Anthony Towns, and Rudy Gobert back after missing game second team foul. Make it third team foul. Back after this.
The NBA Conference semifinals on ESPN are delivered by Chipotle. Real food for real athletes. Chipotle, for real.
15 shots in the previous game. The NBA playoffs continue tomorrow with another pair of Game 3s on ABC and the ESPN app. The Thunder and the Mavericks square off in their Western Conference semifinal at 3:30 Eastern. Then the Eastern Conference semifinal between the Celtics and Cavs begins at 8:30 Eastern time. It all starts with NBA Countdown at 3 p.m. Hey, what about Cleveland?
Minnesota goes to the best shooting big man, by his own words, that this league has ever seen. Karl Anthony Towns for three.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Western Conference semifinals delivered by Chipotle. Jamal Murray, emboldened with toughness and temerity, always embracing the big moment. Looks comfortable.
Different vibe, different bounce tonight. Getting from point A to point B quickly there with one dribble to the rim. And he's been playing with the ball when he's gotten these situations to create space and separation to get into his jump shot. You really didn't see any of that for Jamal Murray.
And that's going to do it for the first 12 minutes. This is Denver's largest lead of the series. Karl Anthony Towns knocking down consecutive threes to start the game, but Jamal Murray with 8 points for the Nuggets. They've gotten off to a much better start. Oh, for the bucket. Looks up at the stands at his father, Roger, and says, "Pops, I've got this."
Yeah, it's a different look tonight for Jamal Murray. Couple jumpers, and now let's go to the reverse over a shot block.
You're watching the NBA playoffs presented by Google Pixel. We're back here in Minneapolis for the Western Conference semifinals delivered by Chipotle. Look at Jamal Murray, a different player tonight, Tim.
Well, the best way to attack full court pressure is get an edge on a straight line. Goes 85 feet for a layup, and then the 1 foot jump release and that float range, that's his patented. Hitting the three on the pull-up, and then this one right here showed me a lot because he kept his dribble, navigated the baseline, came up on the opposite side, and then gave a look, letting people know it's going to be a different story tonight.
Minneapolis, the crowd alive.
This is that defense we talk about and what it can trigger in the open floor. Anthony Edwards trying to bring this crowd to life. Well, this crowd needed something to come to life, and Minnesota just gave it to them. They finally get on a run. Rudy Gobert with the easy putback. Great defense in the post by Naz Reid to poke it away from the MVP, which leads to this. The best athletes in the league in the open floor. And then Mike Conley right off of that. A simple brush screen, steps into a three, and Michael Malone was not wasting any time.
That Overtime Elite facility down there. Hey, Sunday afternoon is a big day for the NBA on ABC. NBA Countdown tips off at 2:30 Eastern Time, followed by the NBA Draft Lottery at 3. Then it's Game 4 of the Eastern Conference semis between the Knicks and Pacers. All these events are also streaming on the ESPN app. Boy, huge win legs by the Pacers tonight. Postseason so far, they lead at 56-41. And coming up on the Toyota halftime report, Denver with a dominant first half so far with 24 minutes to play. We'll have Malika, Michael Wilbon, Bob Myers in the studio with analysis and highlights. Minnesota trying to go up 3-0, but the reigning champs fighting back.
The NBA Conference semifinals on ESPN are delivered by Chipotle. Real food for real athletes. Chipotle, for real. And in part by Google Pixel, the only phone engineered by Google.
You're watching the NBA playoffs presented by Google Pixel. We're back in Minneapolis for the Western Conference semifinals. It's delivered by Chipotle. 56-41 at the end of the first half. As we get ready to start the second quarter, the biggest night in Timberwolves basketball history.
To 3 turnovers, Jamal Murray is too comfortable. They have to change that moving forward.
All right, Angel, we got a timeout on the floor and a coach's challenge of the call on the floor. Back after this. Decimating, eviscerating, disemboweling the #1 defense in the NBA.
Well, Denver hasn't looked comfortable in the first 2 games. They look nice and cozy tonight. Everybody's touching it, making that defense work, and knocking down shot after shot.
The reigning champs roaring back here in Game 3. Back after this. Going to the break. 93-66.
Well, Michael Malone said he was going to challenge his 2 stars to have a big response, and we have seen it from both of them. Jamal Murray getting loose all night with his scoring, and the third quarter owned by Nikola Jokic.
$7:20 to go when we come back to Minneapolis.
The NBA Conference semifinals on ESPN are delivered by Chipotle. Real food for real athletes. Chipotle, for
Called by the Denver Nuggets. We'll take one too. Be right back after this. Tomorrow on ABC at 3:30. New York, Indiana now at 2-1 as well. And Saturday on ABC at 8:30, it'll be Boston. Jamal Murray came out and put his foot down and made an indelible image early. He ended up with 24. For Tim Legler, Angel Gray, and our entire crew, I'm Mark Jones. Thanks for watching. We send it to Scott Van Pelt.